5 a.m. The harsh sound of your alarm wakes you up. Your body is tired, yet you leave the bed because there's only one thought in your mind: work, work, and more work. You toil all day, you sweat, you give it your all. But when you stand in front of the mirror at night, you see a tired, defeated person. Your productivity feels like zero, and you see no signs of success. Your dreams seem to be drifting away like a mirage, while the people around you are advancing effortlessly with less effort. Does this sound familiar? If the answer is yes, then you are not alone. We have been taught that hard work is the only key to success. But if that were the only truth, the most exhausted people on earth would be the most successful. The reality, however, is different. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a truth that can change your perspective on work forever. The problem isn't your effort. The problem is your mindset and your method. If today's discussion feels important to you, stay with the video by giving it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next powerful story. In a vast farming valley in the American Midwest, there lived a farmer named Samuel. He had inherited a large farm from his father. His father was a legendary hard worker, and Samuel adopted his father's ideals as the guiding principle of his life. His belief was simple: keep your head down and work. Success will follow. Samuel's day began long before sunrise. He would head out to the fields with his old tractor. He sowed seeds himself, cleared weeds by hand, and spent hours hauling water for irrigation. His hands were calloused, his back ached unbearably, but he never stopped. He believed this pain was the proof of his success. But year after year, his yields were diminishing. His crops were often destroyed by pests, and the soil's fertility was declining. He worked even harder, used more fertilizer, but the results didn't improve. He was falling into a spiral of debt, and his face was etched with frustration and signs of burnout. Next to Samuel's farm was Elijah's farm. Elijah had left his engineering job in the city a few years ago and started farming in the village. Everyone in the village laughed at him. They said, "A city boy wants to be a farmer." Elijah's approach to work was completely different. He didn't go to the fields at 5 a.m. like Samuel. He would sit down in his small home office at 7 a.m. with a cup of coffee, which was the first step in his time management and efficiency. In front of him was a tablet where he analyzed data from his land. He worked only 7 to 8 hours a day, but his farm was lush and green. His crops were twice as large, and his yields were significantly higher. One day, a terrible fungal outbreak, which they named the Crimson Blight, struck the valley. The fungus quickly turned crops red and destroyed entire fields within days. Seeing this disaster, Samuel became frantic. He rushed to his fields with all his might. He worked day and night, uprooting the infected plants by hand and spraying chemical pesticides. He thought he could fight off this danger with sheer hard work, but the more he worked, the more the fungus spread. Within a few weeks, half of his crops were destroyed. One day, overwhelmed by exhaustion and despair, he collapsed in the middle of his field. On the other hand, Elijah remained calm. He first took out his drone. Yes, a small agricultural drone. He flew it over his farm, taking pictures with a multispectral camera. Through these images, he precisely identified where the fungal attack had occurred and its severity. Next, he collected data from the soil sensors installed beneath his land. The sensors told him which parts of the soil lacked nutrients, which had weakened the plants. Analyzing all this data, Elijah sprayed a specific organic fungicide only on the affected areas, and he did it through his automated sprinkler system. He didn't spray chemicals all over his farm, thus avoiding harm to the environment and his crops. The result was unbelievable. Only a small portion of Elijah's farm was damaged, but he saved the rest of his harvest. When Samuel opened his eyes in the hospital, he felt completely defeated. His hard work, his sacrifice, it had all been in vain. After returning home, he swallowed his pride and went to see Elijah. "Elijah, Samuel said in a broken voice. "I worked 3 times harder than you. I risked my family, my health, everything. Yet I failed, and you succeeded. What are the secrets of success?" Elijah took Samuel to his workshop. There were 2 axes lying there. One was old, rusty, and dull. The other was new, sharp, and gleaming. "Samuel," Elijah said, "have you heard the famous story of the 2 woodcutters? There's a viral video on YouTube about it called The Parable of the 2 Woodcutters. That video explained the powerful concept of sharpen the axe, a principle every successful person follows. The story goes like this. 2 woodcutters compete to cut down trees. The first one swings his axe for 12 hours without a break. The second one takes a 10-minute break every hour to sharpen his axe. The first one laughs at him and says, "You're wasting time." But at the end of the day, the one who sharpened his axe had cut down twice as many trees. Elijah handed the dull axe to Samuel and said, "Try to cut that log with this." Samuel struck with all his might, but the axe barely made a scratch on the wood. He was out of breath. "Well, this has been," who his-eyed. Then Elijah took the sharp axe and struck lightly once, and it cut deep into the wood. "Samuel," Elijah said, "you are the first woodcutter. You've been working with a dull axe for years. You are working hard, but not smart." Elijah then explained his 3 core principles which build a true success mindset and define what working smart really means. Principle 1. Strategy over stamina. I plan before I start working. I use data. This is the power of strategic thinking. I decide which crop will grow best in which soil, when to apply fertilizer, and what the market demand is. You just work with your strength. But I start my work with my brain. Principle 2. Leverage over labor. I use technology that makes my work easier. You can call these modern productivity hacks. This automation saves me time. My drone, soil sensors, drip irrigation, and GPS-guided tractor, these are my leverage. It cost me money at first, but now they save my time, energy, and money. Principle 3. Recovery over burnout. The most important thing is rest. I sleep 8 hours every day, spend time with my family, and read books, because I know a tired mind cannot make good decisions. It helps you avoid burnout and succeed in the long run. Rest is the best way to sharpen my axe. When you are exhausted, you can't solve problems. You become the problem yourself. Elijah's words opened Samuel's eyes. He realized he had been toiling like a donkey all these years. That day, Samuel went home and took out his old notebooks. He drew a map of his farm. He started researching on the internet. His transformation didn't happen overnight. He first installed a simple drip irrigation system in his smallest and most valuable crop field. He used a small part of his income to buy a soil testing kit and learned about his soil's health for the first time. He set aside 1 hour every morning just for planning and learning. He started watching farming videos on YouTube, asking questions in forums, and learning new techniques. The next season, Samuel's farm underwent an incredible transformation. His crops were much healthier than before. He focused on just 2 crops that grew best in his soil and had a high market price. His yield nearly doubled, yet he was working half the time he used to. He now had time. He would talk with his wife with a smile, play with his children. The exhaustion on his face was replaced by a new confidence. He was no longer just a hard-working farmer. He was a smart farmer. Now it's your turn. How can you stop being like Samuel and become a smart worker like Elijah? I'll give you 3 simple steps you can start today. I call this the Work Smart Audit. Step 1. Find your dull axe. Sit down quietly tonight and make a list. Find that one task in your day or week that consumes most of your time and energy but yields very little result. It could be answering the same emails over and over, attending unnecessary meetings, or a task you simply dislike. That is your dull axe. Step 2. Find your sharpening stone. Now, think. Is there an easier or faster way to do that task? System. Can you create a system? Like using templates for emails? Tools. Is there an app or software that can automate the task? Delegation. Is there someone you can explain the task to, saving your valuable time? Ask yourself these questions. Finding the answers might take some time, but in the long run, it will change your life. Step 3. Schedule time to sharpen. Don't just block time in your calendar for work. Set aside at least 1 or 2 hours every week just for learning, planning, and improving your work methods. During this time, you can learn a new skill, read a book, or just sit quietly and think. This time is not a waste. It is your best investment. Remember, success is not measured by the number of hours you work. It's measured by the value you create in those hours. The habits of successful people involve working smart, not just working hard. Work hard, but sharpen your axe first. Work, but plan before you work. Give your energy, but use your intelligence along with it. Now, it's your turn. What is the dull axe in your life? Which task is draining most of your energy? Let me know in the comments, and think about how you can sharpen that axe. Subscribe to this channel, because every week we bring motivational stories and strategies like this to help you make your life more beautiful and successful. And if you are working hard in life but not getting success, then watch the video appearing on your screen now. It will help you take your next step toward a mindset shift.